Hi everyone, this is Mrs. Reister with lesson 6.5, and we're going over example 1. So we have here a series of 4 equations where we are going to solve using 2 steps. And keep in mind, just like with one-step equations, we are using inverse operations to solve. So let's get started with question A. We have 2x minus 5 equals negative 11. So we're going to start with the term that does not contain the variable, so that is minus 5. Using inverse operations, I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So my new simplified equation is 2x equals negative 11 plus 5, which is negative 6. And now to solve the inverse of 2x, 2 times x, is to divide. So I'm going to divide by 2 on both sides. And my solution for x is negative 6 divided by 2, which is negative 3. Oops, let me fix that circle there. And we know that the last and final step should always be to check this by substituting negative 3 in place of x. I encourage you to do that on your own, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to move on to B. Here we have 3n plus 7 plus 2n equals 42. So now in this case, the left side of my equal sign looks that I need to simplify it because I have some like terms. I can put 3n and 2n together, and I can see here that they're both positive. So when I combine them, I have 5n plus 7 equals 42. I'm going to subtract 7 on both sides. Notice here how in all of these equations I am clearly showing my steps. 42 minus 7 is 35. So 5n equals 35. The inverse here is to divide. 35 divided by 5, n is equal to 7. And C, here we have z divided by 6 plus 11 equals 13. So I'm going to start with the plus 11, and the inverse of that is to subtract 11. So I have z divided by 6 equals 13 minus 11, which is 2. And the inverse of dividing by 6 is to multiply by 6 on both sides. And my solution for z is 12. And our last equation here, negative 2 parentheses 3 plus 4y equals negative 78. And just like in part B, I need to first simplify the left side of my equal sign. And in this case, I'm going to use the distributive property to do that. So I'm going to multiply negative 2 to all parts inside, to all terms inside the parentheses. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Negative 2 times 4y is negative 8 equals negative 78. And I am going to rewrite my equation because I know that adding a negative is the same as subtracting. So I'm going to have negative 6 minus 8y equals negative 78. And now I'm going to solve. So the first thing I need to do is get rid of the term that does not contain the variable, and that is the negative 6. The inverse of that is positive 6. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. I'm going to add 6. So negative 78 plus 6 equals negative 72. And now the inverse of negative 8y, that's multiplication. So I'm going to divide by negative 8. And I'm going to do the same thing on the right side. So y is equal to 72 divided by 8 is 9, and I know that a negative divided by a negative is a positive. Therefore, my solution here is y equals 9. The last thing I will leave you with before ending this video is that I cannot stress this enough, and it is stated in the directions for example 1, that you need to show all your steps.